go, so you can always go back to review before the test. The big thing is the ones that get squared are always going to come from this right angle. So it's going to be one of these lengths that gets squared. So which length is going to get squared? The x, right? So we know we've got x squared, and then it has to be two parts from the same triangle. So this x is part of what triangle?
That one is
The small one and the biggest one.
The small one.
that one.
So that means we get a 36, right? Does that make sense? And it's part of the biggest triangle,
Which we have
So you
100.
need to add them together.
which would mean you would have to add them together. Exactly. Does that make sense? Not at all? A little bit? Kind of?
Yeah.
You've got to be able, and if it helps you, bless you, if it helps you, something that you can do is you can quickly kind of sketch out these triangles separate from each other. And if we have x, isn't x part of those two triangles?
Yeah.
So I just took these and split them apart, and then that's the whole big thing, right? So we know that 36 is here, we know that 64 is here, but we need this other side. Because these are the ones with x.
But
Does that kind of make sense?
yeah.
No? Let's rock some colors and make it make sense. Some of you guys, it look like it's really clicked with you, and other people are like, Miss Holly, you're the most evil person I've ever met in my life. Let's do it this way. We got this little triangle, right? Which is this little triangle. We've got this little triangle, which would be this guy. Does that make sense? And then we have the whole shebang, which would be this guy. Okay? So x is on the green triangle and the blue triangle. So that means I have to take a value from each of those. Can you figure out what that value is?
100.
Yeah.
How do you figure out 100?
9 sides of the
Yeah, you just add the two parts together. This guy plus this guy. Don't hate on my line. Would go there.
Charlie, do you have like a jacket that I wear?
Yeah, my police do whatever. But
I don't understand, but how do you know when to do the multiplication?
so these are always a right triangle within a right triangle. Versus these guys, which is a triangle just laying inside of another triangle. See the difference in the pictures?
I have a question.
Talk to me.
How do you know when to multiply that? How do you know when to multiply that?
So that's where splitting up these triangles comes in, okay? Because this side is attached to these two triangles, you need a side from those two triangles. 64 is completely separate. It's not attached to x.
So how do you know? So when you multiply
If the middle, if we had x on this line, then we'd multiply those two together because they share that line. Does that make sense? There's three scenarios, honestly. It's three scenarios. Okay? You want to look at them? We can look at exactly what those three scenarios are.
like scenarios for the test?
Like, there's only three scenarios in this picture.
Oh no, don't do that. You don't do that.
If I'm given this line, I need this line and the whole thing.
Why can't you use the other one?
Because this triangle is not touching this line here.
It's not needed.
I could break this off and I wouldn't need this line. Does that make sense? Okay. If I'm given this middle line, what other two do I need?
You need these.
You're going to need here and here.
Well, could you do the bottom too?
Yeah, you could have here or here, but
Yeah,
they just
but-
don't normally do that for some reason. I don't know why. They don't normally do that. Okay? And then if I have this side,
Do the opposite.
yeah,
Okay,
we would
like
do
that.
this guy and the whole thing. Those are the only three. Ooh. The only three. Go back. After their win yesterday, 14-5 win for my girls.
I saw the gift.
That's legit. My phone makes those. My phone makes those. Let's try it, Jiggy.
Can you dab brush real quick?
Maybe. Maybe I'll sneeze later.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's these three different scenarios. So, let's apply. Okay, so wait, let's actually solve this guy. Let's actually solve this guy. X squared equals what?
3,600.
3,600, and then what do you do to it?
We're going to square it. So you will get a nice solid
Square root it. Good, thank you.
a nice solid answer of 60.
And you should get 60, good. Alright, how about over here?
The side that you can do is equal to the x squared.
So they have this guy, right? So that means I need this length, and I need this length, right? They share that vertex there. I've got to go from that vertex.
So it will be x squared equals 9 times 25.
So where does 9 come from?
And 25 by 60.
Subtracting, exactly. So they gave me the whole thing, minus its part will give me its other part.
Sometimes when it's not, it's gotta be like really, really weird when the understanding is really bad.
So what happens?
That's 225, and when you square root it, it's 15.
Because they're the two side lengths that go with our x. What you're actually doing is you're taking the proportion, x goes with 9, and 25 goes with x. And you're cross multiplying.
What about the
16's only there to help you figure out 9. Yeah. But
You said that you only multiply them by x in the middle.
I would multiply 9 and 16 if x was in the middle.
This is our 3.
But I don't understand when you multiply it.
100 was because those were added together to get the whole length. The whole length was already given to you here, it's 25.
So when the whole length was given to you, you multiply by the whole length, and then it's not, you figure it out like that.
Depends on which of these line segments you're given.
So let's say you're given the middle.
Then you would multiply 9 and 16. If I was given this side, what would you multiply?
25.
Exactly. Okay. Cool. And we'll go through the geometric mean practice and just blow through a couple of them so you can see them, okay? Cool? Alright, what if they're given to you like this?
You said it,
Le proportion.
you got the A, not A, yeah, you got the A.
What do we gotta add?
You got the A, 6A plus 7, 16.
We gotta add these together to get this entire beautiful length. So 6x, what's 12 plus 16? Positive 28. Good. Alright, which of these do I have to use?
You got to use the 121 and 2.
We can use them.
You can use them, but it's way
We've got to
easier.
use 6x plus 28 because you're finding x, right? I don't care where you put it in your proportion, but you have to use this guy.
Did we use 6x plus 12 everything? I mean, there's a
If
different
you
way of
figure
doing
out
it,
this guy, yes.
which is 90.
Absolutely.
That's what I
Yep, that totally works. 100% will work. What does 6x plus 28 go with?
121.
It goes with 121. What else does it go with?
But isn't the 121?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What else? Because it's got, so it's, what does this have in common with 21? No. They're from the same triangle though, right? They're from the bigger triangle. And then what does this guy have that relates to the smaller triangle? Which corresponding side? The 16, right? Because it's on the same side of this triangle. So 16, and then that goes with which one from the other triangle? 21, 21 goes with what? 22. Okay? You could have said 110 and 20. You could reduce them if you want to, whatever makes you
You
happy.
have that 6x plus 128.
Yes, because when we cross multiply, aren't you still going to multiply this with this guy no matter what? So there's tons of scenarios. So let's blow through this guy. You guys tell me what numbers are. I'll write them down. You multiply for me.
Well, it's going to be 132x plus 616 equals 1,936.
1,936. Thank you.
You subtract that number.
Yep.
And you get 132 over x equals 1,320.
1,000 what?
320.
Beautiful.
Then you go and divide.
Oh, that's a nice number. It's going to be 10. Did you get 10? As long as you got 10, you did this correctly. Cool? Ooh.